Okay, here we are, everyone. Back in the onsen, stewing up some human soup. I'm here with co-host Nexus.
Hello.
Hey, and co-host NBT.
Crack.
I don't even know what that one means. It doesn't make me angry. But okay.
It's like a leveled up version.
Yeah, leveled up. Speaking of leveled up, what a terrible segue. So today we're gonna be covering the topic of basically stages in JROCK, or maybe even your JROCK power level, you know, so as you get more and more into it, how you change. Like, I guess a good example is like, as a fan of animation, I have my hidden power level, where at all times there's something that I have with me that is kind of a dead giveaway that I'm into it, but not everyone will know unless they're super into it too. So I guess a good way to put it is, where you start out. So for myself, I would say when I first started out, you know, I found like one song and one band and I thought they were really freaking great. And then I moved on from there and I just wanted to listen to every single thing. And then I kind of started toning down, really focusing on only a few things. And I'd say over time, the spectrum of music I listen to, even in the Japanese music scene, is like getting slimmer and slimmer. It's very rare for me to add a new band that I actually follow legitimately. So I was wondering if anyone else kind of has the same.
So basically, you're kind of like at the cap level right now.
Yeah. Like my power level for a fucking set specific amount of bands is just like, this is it. Like, you know, when you're at a party and somebody's like, hey, it's nice to meet you, but you don't want anything to do with them. And you're kind of like, sorry, man, I'm all friended up. Like, I'd rather not.
All my friends are used up.
Like, I don't need any new people right now.
Yeah, you're joking, but I actually have dealt with like having all my friend slots filled up.
Slots. Because they all take up space in your Final Fantasy inventory, right?
Yeah, my inventory for friends is full. No more friends until I dig somebody.
Let me ask you. So you said that you're basically capped right now. So let's say, like, what kind of bands are in your inventory or bag? I don't know.
Let's call it an inventory.
Okay,
we're gonna magic
go
sack.
Game. Okay, we're gonna go game theme today. All right. So in your inventory, how many kind of like Western bands versus Japanese bands?
Western. Wow, that's an interesting question. I can't think of any that like I actually legitimately follow in any way. Like,
so basically your JROCK level has consumed like all your how do you say it, like music inventory.
Yeah, definitely. Like I can't think of a single Western band that I follow. I mean, there are definitely Western bands I like, and you know, bands from other parts of the world besides Japan, but for the most part, yeah, I'm all Japanesed up, like nothing else. I mean, what about you? Like, do you have like a good like a rainbow of diversity in your music taste, or are you just like, nope?
I don't know. Like, I kind of got into like some kind of Korean rock recently.
That's a thing
that exists.
This is a thing. I was never informed.
It's a very slim market in Korea, so that's why I it's hard to find, I guess. Well, I'm not that well informed when it comes to Korean music, but when I find some, oh shit, I just spilled my water.
Oh my god!
Because I made like gestures. Anyway,
big hand motions.
When I find some good Korean bands that I like, I try to like see if I can find some bands that are similar to them. But regardless, I think I basically have 98% Japanese music in my inventory.
Yeah. I'd say mine's like 99% Japanese, and then like there's probably like one Chinese band in there.
Oh, Kung Fu, Voodoo Kung Fu.
Yeah, Voodoo Kung Fu. Like, I still listen to them regularly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if you were to look at my phone, which is the majority of the music I carry around with me, I don't think there's anything even in English in it.
Like, listening to this, first I was like, I definitely agree that with the JROCK levels, once you like max out, it's once you're after that phase where you like listen to everything, pretty much everyone just kind of like mellows out into listening to only a few bands once they're in the fandom for like a long time, nearing a decade or something. But it would like logically, it would make you think that once you start listening to fewer JROCK bands, you would like want to supplement the other slots with Western shit, but no one really does. No one really does.
No.
It's just, you kind of like
No.
listen to 3 JROCK bands and nothing else.
The thing is, like, there are, especially in the Visual-kei scene, like, you know, there's always bands that are disbanding.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of starts feeling like it's not worth the emotional investment because they're gonna break up anyway.
I don't know about that. I still go fucking hard, but I think it is interesting that you've said 3. I don't know if that was really intentional or not, but it does feel like 3 is that magic number for me, at least, where there's 2 that are like cemented in right now, and then like the third slot is constantly rotating. Yeah,
I think it's 3 for me as well. Like there's 2 that are like pretty much they're gonna be there forever, and then you just keep like swapping the one to supplement the 2.
yeah, like in between.
To change it up a little.
The like fucking 2 decades of no releases.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for example, I always track my music on Last.fm.
I know you're fucking weird about it too.
Yeah, and you shut up. And also, like these bands that used to be active, they were always getting a lot of plays from me. But since they disbanded and there was like no new music really, I kind of like forgot about them. So that's what was kind of like one of the reasons why I stopped listening to them. Not because their music was bad or gotten worse, in my opinion, or anything like that, but because you tend to forget about them because there's so much new music that comes out.
Yeah, I guess that's valid. I don't really listen to this person anymore, even though I like still love them so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're like my 4th most listened band, even to this day, after like tracking music for 10 years.
Yeah,
but
you're weird.
yeah, but their rank hasn't gone up or anything because they don't really release any music anymore.
Yeah, and that's sad.
Yeah.
When are they coming back? I still believe it's gonna happen one day.
Why?
I don't know. I want to hope. Shut up. They used to be like one of my first most favorite bands in JROCK when I got into it.
Like 5 seconds ago, you were like, I don't even know if the emotional investment's worth it. And you're like, I refuse to give up.
But she already invested in them.
I refuse to give up.
Oh, okay. Once you're clinging to bands of the past, you don't have the emotional capacity to emotionally invest in other bands that are also going to break up, you know?
But like, I've met like Izumi twice already. And like every time I meet him, he always like to, well, I always ask him about the music, but he feels very passionate about the things he does, and music is still a big part of it. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's repeat we'll see a few more times.
Yeah. It's just to fill up about like 30 minutes worth of time. But I guess so I mean, not necessarily we all agree that there is like a specific cycle to it, and when you max out, you're stuck in like these are my 3 boys or girls, you know, whatever. Maybe you're really into Love Bites or something. But baby metal's a thing.
You know what? My JROCK level has actually decreased.
Really? I guess mine has.
And the reason for that is because J-pop has come into the scene.
Well, J-pop's getting popular again.
Well, for me, like I started listening to a lot of like doujin bands, and a lot of doujin bands are kind of like they converge somewhere around like J-pop and J-rocks, and so I kind of like got into those artists as well. So they do not only make J-rock, they make J-pop, they make some like electronic shit sometimes too. So it's very different in the doujin world.
I get that. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. But at the root of it, wouldn't you say most of the doujin bands you listen to anyway are more metal focused?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's basically where I kind of branch out from J-rock still.
I mean, I have my weird stuff that I'm into. Like, I don't remember if it was you or somebody else, but they had me listen to this, like, doujin band. Like, it was, I don't know what the correct term for it is, but it's a bunch of different artists. They were all doing jazz, and it was really good. Like, I think everything at the end of it all was all arranged by a guy named Pine, but it was just a bunch of different jazz stuff, and it was really fucking good.
I don't recall any of that, so
yeah, I don't know who got me to listen to it, but it was really fucking great. And like now I can never find anything like it, because that's just how that shit works. So that's why it's like the rotating three, you know, there's the two who you can trust, and then the third who's like only there sometimes, so you got to switch them out every now and then. All right, well Nexus, I mean, where would you say you are? You say you're kind of capped out, but I guess where did you start?
I guess I was like about to say that even though I'm kind of capped out, I guess I'm kind of decreasing because I'm going through a little bit of an anime renaissance, and I turned into a bit of a weeb.
Oh, wait, what have you been listening to?
No, not listening to. I don't listen to much stuff at all.
Oh, you mean you just watch anime? You don't listen to the songs from anime?
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world who
I've been listening to soundtracks, but I usually only listen to them as a means to an end when I'm working. So I'm like, I got them on in the background, because when I'm working and I can't.
You
I
mean
can't
soundtracks as in like this like background soundtrack music?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
And I've been doing that with like Hiroaka soundtracks and what the fuck was that other one called? The Land of the Lustrous one, that's a good one. But I want to say that I usually listen to this stuff when I'm working, because I can't listen to anything with lyrics when I'm working. And so work is kind of fucking my JROCK involvement, because I don't have time to listen to JROCK.
Wait, why can't you listen to anything with lyrics?
Because it distracts me.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah, and so I feel like my JROCK level is decreasing somewhat, because I legit like don't listen to much stuff. And if I do listen to it, it's usually just Dirangre and the Gazette, and that's about it.
So, but in general, you listen to less music, right? I guess.
Yeah, but I'm not really picking up any more bands or anything that are not JROCK or not Japanese.
But you're not even kind of like looking for any new music.
No, I don't have the need to look for any new music. That's why I said that most people I know don't like branch out too much. They just stick to their couple bands in their comfort zone, even if they stop listening to too much music at all or caring about too much JROCK at all.
So let me tell you, when I had an iPod Shuffle, the iPod Shuffle could contain about how many songs? Like more than 100, I think.
Oh, that's
more than wait, like triple digits.
Holy
triple digits. That was the real deal. And also, it had no display. Just play.
Oh, that dumb one.
Yeah. The old one. So I usually had like my top 100 songs, and I just put it there and shuffle them. So that was in the past, and I just shuffled all my songs. But now when I have like so much more songs available, I stick to like a few albums every month, and then I kind of like find new music and switch it up. That's how I usually consume music. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah, that's totally valid, because like just last year I spent like a month listening to one of the Lynch's albums on repeat, and literally only that one.
Ooh.
It's the 13th one in the Roman numerals. I just don't know how to
Yeah, it got a lot of praise from everyone.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Really? Maybe I should listen to it.
You should. It's good.
I don't know, man. I know I'm all filled up, you know?
To go back on that analogy of listening to only 3 bands, Lynch is the 3rd band I currently have slotted in next to Dirangre and Gazette, which are the basic 2 for me.
That's really interesting. Like, I feel like that's a lot of people, Dirangre and Gazette, that I talk to, but I'm just not that big a fan of the Gazette.
We've been through this. You're weird.
What?
Your opinions are invalid. But no.
What?
You're not the first person that I know that doesn't like the Gazette. It's not that weird.
I don't know. I think a lot of people, they probably like some songs of the Gazette, but people kind of like overrate or overhype them. I think that's the thing that people...
Yeah, I 100%
the Gazette tends to be overrated as fuck.
Yeah, I mean...
they're good, but not the greatest band ever.
Yeah, granted, Gazette is one of the catalysts for me also, but... Yeah, I'll admit they have some songs that I really, really like, but for the most part, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, I don't dislike them. I mean, I don't not dislike them.
Mazo, the person that talks like a whole lot about hating the Gazette.
I never said I hate the Gazette. I just
Okay.
dislike a good chunk of their library.
I don't know. Is there a reason to hate the Gazette at all? I don't know.
The hype, the fandom.
Yeah, but
probably.
I mean, would you hate the band for that?
Some people, like, if the fandom of a band
Are
or
they
a thing is
enablers?
really shitty, it puts them off the thing. It like sours the taste of the thing for you because the fans are so shitty. It's happened to me before with other stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. I mean, I told you I went to see Gazette Night. A big reason why I didn't enjoy it that much was because the fans were just kind of boring.
Now watch like all the Gazette fans that are by chance listening come for our ass.
I know, that's why I don't want to talk too much about it, because I don't necessarily, again, it's not their fault either. Different fandoms express their shit in different ways, which I guess is kind of, it goes with the power level territory. I feel like a lot of people who are showing up to a Gazette show are either like not necessarily end stage or at like a weird like early stage where they're like, I just really love the Gazette. And it's like, why? I really love the Gazette.
But yeah, it's a good like kind of introduction to JROCK, I guess, and that's why maybe you don't. Yeah, you find like these low levels.
Yeah, and that's why self-important assholes like me are just like, but they're not like, high level.
It sounds so
shit.
bad though. It's like elitism. Like that's a bad thing because it puts you higher. So maybe this J-Rock level thing wasn't the best. Like,
well, here's the thing. There is definitely elitism in almost all communities. All communities I've ever been involved in, elitism is the worst when it comes to anything even remotely resembling heavy metal. I don't know if you've noticed that too, but when it comes to, loud distorted guitars, the elitists in those communities are fucking elitists.
I try to stay away from these kind of dramas. Like it just kind of makes it more toxic, and I don't even want.
Yeah, no, 100% it does. That's why I avoid it too. But this is where you're gonna get
Like-
the most elitism is in.
Rather than like time spent listening to shit or like levels or like knowledge, what I've encountered in the JROCK fandom when it comes to elitism is more like elitism related to spending.
Really?
Like who has more merch and who has been to more concerts and shit like that.
Oh, I noticed that though with Hatsune Miku because that's a merch kind of based. How do you say market?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, since Miku's not real and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Since
there's no
Miku's
real
not
artist.
real and
I mean, there's no real artist.
she's a virtual
behind
girl,
Miku.
damn it.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone participating in Miku, so there's like merch in every direction that you look like. So
Well, I mean, everyone I don't participate in Miku, don't drag me into this shit.
I will say that's one of the coolest things about stuff like Miku, especially living out here in Japan. If I'm ever like, man, I really need a pillow. Like, that's a bad example. Or like, I really need
a frisbee.
a frisbee.
You want
Just to slap Miku on one.
Dakimakura.
I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Like, I really want some chopsticks. Oh, these look like giant leeks. Like,
Oh yeah.
I love that.
yeah, it's great. The marketing aspect of it is really great. But
It's like if
I guess-
you're in
I mean-
Japan and you need literally anything, it probably exists with Miku on it.
yeah.
I mean, if you need like blue ramen, that exists too.
Yeah, blue ramen exists too. Like that's 100% a fucking thing. Like they'll slap anything on anything. But I think that also goes towards the how easy it is to become an elitist, big money spender in Japan, or not in Japan, but with Japanese bands. Because I mean, when I went to see Deviloof, I finally got to buy some of their merch, and they have wristbands, they have wallets. They have typical stuff like jackets and shirts, and then I bought a towel. Like that's a thing, and that's because summers out here are so crazy. Like you're insane not to have a towel, but
And
they'll
was it like-
slap
was
their
it like
name on anything.
The neck towel that they sell at concerts or like
Yeah.
a legit towel?
Yeah, neck towel.
Okay.
Oh, you guys know how like in Japan a lot of concerts have they're like seated.
Yeah.
So
Is that common out
even-
here? It's still all the stuff I've been to is pretty underground.
The
yeah,
big
so
concerts
that's
have
why.
seating
Yeah,
usually.
the bigger ones.
Yeah, that's
But
why.
even
That's
so-
why I don't want to go to any bigger shows out here because I don't want to be stuck in a seat next to.
No,
Some
that's not how
fangirl.
it works. That's not how it works. But like, even though they have seated, like, even though the concert is seated, people still line up early for the merch, and especially for Hatsune Miku, like these events, there are some merch that are sold out really quickly. So the lines are like basically like lining up for a big concert, even though you don't have to.
Oh, so like even though you're let in with like numbered tickets, you're still sitting there since morning because you want that limited Miku shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you really need to get that happy coat.
Yeah. I stood in line for 1 hour and then like...
Oh, 1 hour. That's so long. Jesus.
No. That was half of it only. Like,
Okay.
and after 1 hour, they said, "Oh, this shit is sold out." I was
Holy
like,
shit.
fuck. So I've been there for like, and also I wasted like half of the time of like, because they were playing the concert too while I was standing in line.
Oh,
that
that
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah. And some people go there just to buy merch and they don't watch the concert.
That sucks. Like, why? No.
Because that's their
I don't
power
know.
level.
I mean, this wasn't, granted, this wasn't like the holographic show. This was a kind of like Hatsune Miku DJ show.
Yeah, that brings me actually to a question. Have you guys noticed that, like, I don't know if it's common, but like at a certain power level of JROCK, let's keep calling it that, people just kind of like willingly stop giving a shit about like being near the front at concerts and shit. They just go stand in the back because they have seen the shit so many times that they just don't give a fuck anymore.
Oh, so that's a really high level.
I get what you're saying with that one, but for me personally, like, for example, my second time watching Deviloof, I wasn't at the very front. I was closer to the back, and it's less because I'm like, I've seen this all before, whatever, and it's more because I know what kind of experience I want in the show, and with this group of people, it's not going to happen. Like, nothing against Visual-kei and the type of fans they have, but they're just not as violent as the direction that Deviloof kind of leans in. But again, at the end of their set that night, they did get a really good pit going. Their Wall of Death was actually really successful, in my opinion. And I did join the front just to get slammed around a little bit. But for the most part, unless a band can get their fans to do a really good mosh pit or actually really get into their stuff, I don't get involved because nobody else is getting involved anyway, and the band's not asking for it.
But there's no reason for you to be at like the front because that's not where the stuff happens. I mean, it's kind of like
it's definitely not
behind at least the front row, because I mean the mosh pit and circle pits are not happening.
Like if you're standing in the front row, the mosh pit is not happening for you.
I guess there's two things I keep an eye on at a show while I stand like towards the middle back. Is I keep an eye on the band because you can see the whole band from there. If you're all the way at the very front, you got to turn your head every couple seconds to see whoever's doing what. And keep an eye on the crowd to see if they do anything interesting or if the band eggs them on to do anything interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. When I was at Crystal Lake's concert, I was at the front row, and I kind of felt like sometimes it was a waste. But I got like the action that I got was that people who crowd surfed kind of like hit me in the head, and I kind of like bit my own mouth and started bleeding that way. I was like, I don't want to have to deal with this shit. So I stopped being. I just like jumped out and went to the mosh pit instead, and that was a lot more fun than just standing at the front and getting like legs kicked on your head and stuff like that.
I guess that's also a sign of a high level. You know what you want from a show.
Yeah, definitely. That is 100% a thing. After you've been to a few shows, you get to know what you're there for. And I'd say in some ways it sucks because sometimes it's just not going to fucking happen no matter how bad you want it to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned like the crowd being bad at Gazette. Where was that?
It was like next fucking level bad.
But where were you? At which concert?
Oh, it was in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I'm not going to give much more away than that. It wasn't their most recent show either, so calm down.
Yeah. So I think I've been to 3 concerts in Europe and 1 in Japan.
Only 3? I thought it would be more for you.
Oh no! I don't have that much money.
Oh, okay.
I know where it all went.
Yeah. Basically, I couldn't like extract any more money from the ATM when I was in Japan recently. That's how much money I spent
on Miku.
Yeah, on Miku.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But it's really different, the crowd in Japan and in Europe. Like even if it's the same like band. So I think it's easier to enjoy yourself in Europe, but in Japan you kind of have to know what like this Furutsuke.
I don't think you have to know. Like, it's optional for sure. And again, there are some bands that hate it.
Yeah, but that's how kind of like the Japanese fans enjoy it.
Yeah, and then Morrigan come to Europe, and you have to pull the footy sheet, and only half the crowd joins in, and it gets super weird.
Did that happen?
Yeah, like at the 3 Morrigan shows I was to, like the front was doing footy because there were some people that go to shows in Japan, and they were like instigating it. And it was fun. I joined in. It was fun. But
of course
if only the front is doing it, and then like behind like the second row nobody else is, it gets kind of weird.
Honestly, every time I've seen it, it's only been like the front row doing it. That's the place for it.
Okay,
I mean, unless you're Gazette and then you have everyone doing whatever they do, you know.
For Gazette, it was more like people knew when to headbang and like at what pace and stuff.
That's not really what I meant. I meant like if you watch some of their arena shows, you'll see like everyone doing a thing.
Yeah, they have kind of a footy of sorts, but it's less like elaborate than some other smaller weekly bands have.
Man,
yeah, exactly.
Some of them are
was
elaborate, though. That's the thing. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, imagine like spending time at home to learn a freaking choreographed dance so you can enjoy listening to your favorite band live.
I guess it's fun for those people. I mean,
I guess.
So it's fair.
Tell us if you enjoy choreographed dancing at concerts. We want to know more about it.
Yeah,
I don't want to see you dance.
I definitely want to know how you feel, so I know never to invite you anywhere.
Don't listen to Mazo, he's a dick.
All right, well, I mean, we did definitely get a little bit off topic here and there, but I guess it's still up in the air. I want to hear about some other people's view on their power level, where they are when it comes to J-Rock. But for today, I mean, you guys have anything else you want to add?
I just want to say that I still prefer to be front row for most of the concerts.
What a fucking loser.
So, yeah.
Same, honestly. I'm always in the front.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not capped out yet as you are, Maso.
I know, man. You guys are like fucking plebs compared to me.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm like one-shotting bosses and shit, and you guys are like, can you like trade me this item?
No, we have to play in a party to survive. That's how it works.
Yeah, backpacking, you bitches.
But
man,
I guess
shoulders hurt.
There's still growth for me in terms of kind of getting myself more into how stuff works in J-Rock and getting to know more bands.
I just wanted to briefly mention that I don't know if you've noticed that some bands like have more people that are capped out that go to them. Capped out, okay, we're established terminology now, I'm gonna keep using it. That if you go to a concert of a band that has many people at the high J-Rock level, crowd feel is completely different than when you go to like a concert that has lower capped crowd. Jesus Christ, this analogy makes no fucking sense.
I mean, I don't get it, but okay.
But do you mean that you feel more
it's a different feel
when it's not as high level people there?
I don't know which I like more. It's just a very different feel.
I mean, for like, I'm just gonna bring Hatsune Miku back in the picture because
of course you're gonna.
Because I can't live without her shiny blue hair.
Because I mean, at Hatsune Miku concerts, it's obvious which people are more high level because they know the choreographs, and even though it's not like planned out. There are specific moves that you do during specific type of tempo or like a rhythm.
Yeah.
And also the people at the front usually are the people who's kind of like leading the entire crowd because it's a butterfly, not butterfly effect, but
monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, it's more like that. And you know instantly when people are kind of confident when they're doing this move, when they're waving the light stick, and they also instantly know which color to pick when the song starts playing.
That's such a J-pop thing.
Yeah,
picking the color. You do it in Bang Dream, so
yeah, it's basically for like every J-pop artist.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically the point is that it's easier to kind of like spot the level difference when you're at a kind of like a Hatsune Miku concert, but it's not the same, I guess, with J-Rock concerts.
Now watch people give us shit for calling it levels.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really interested to see the comments for this one because it is interesting, and something I feel like I've noticed just discussing it with you guys is the higher quote unquote level someone feels, at least for me, the more cynical they get about everything. Like
absolutely, the cynicism comes with it, dude.
Yeah, the cynicism comes with it, and so does the elitism. Yeah, I'm horrible. Like, the more I listen to you guys, like, oh, I like this band. You know, I've done this a little bit. I'm like, fuck that. Like,
but I feel like you haven't listened to that many bands, actually.
Probably not, because I'm all banded up, you know?
Yeah, your inventory is full.
Like, I know what I like, and I'm sure we've talked about it before. I know what I like, and I don't like to get too far out of that comfort zone, because I know it's just a waste of fucking time for me. And for the most part, when somebody makes a recommendation, it's kind of like, if I got time, I'll listen to it.
What? Dude, you listen to Hello Happy World from Bang Dream.
Yeah. They're great.
It's a totally different, like, direction.
No, it's not. It's got that metal heart, you know?
What? No. I totally don't get
obviously,
it. It's like,
you don't get it.
It's like J-pop to the core. It's like super high-pitched girl voice and stuff like that.
That's amazing.
Mazo, he likes metal, except when he likes J-pop.
Yeah, you know? Well, again, everybody has their, you know, their own rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a gesture that would knock over a cup of water if it were on my desk.
I should,
Then wipe it, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, wipe the water.
All right, well, we all had our closing thoughts, but definitely want to hear from everyone else. You can comment or whatever you want to do. Maybe leave a message, although nobody gives a fuck about us, so maybe we won't get any messages. Yeah.
We're on Spotify.
We are on Spotify. How about some quick bits? MBT, you got anything?
So on the topic of Hatsune Miku.
What a fucking shill.
So me and some other guys visited the Ramen Kipushi. This restaurant serves I think they only serve ramen, and one of the dishes that have is a blue ramen. So basically the broth is like blue. Everything that they put in there gets soaked in that blue color. So it's something that people think it's like related to Hatsune Miku, I guess. So people who went there started giving the restaurant owner their Hatsune Miku figurines. So basically he started to populate the entire place with Hatsune Miku, and that's how it kind of got associated with Hatsune Miku. So I went there to eat, and it was pretty good. So if you want to know more about the restaurant, you can head to jrocknews.com, search for blue ramen, I guess.
Oh yeah,
that bit was so not quick.
That I'll leave that as my only.
All right, well, I'll jump in here and give you a real quick one. Yoshiki, goddamn legend. He's doing a documentary series that's going to be on YouTube pretty soon. I think it's
YouTube Red or YouTube regular?
YouTube original? I don't know. That's a good question.
YouTube original is the paid service.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because they got rid of Red because it sounds too much like a porn site. But
I thought it sounded more like communism. YouTube Red.
No, YouTube loves communism. So March 2020 is when you'll be able to catch that if you're premium enough. I mean, are you fully devoted?
Yeah, I am.
No shit.
Roselia.
I knew it was coming. Okay. All right. Nexus, you got anything?
Glams are coming to Europe in March. Check out the tickets. There.
All right. Well, I guess that kind of wraps it up here. I mean, we got nothing else to go on about. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I've been your host Mazo with co-host Nexus.
Bye.
Oh my god.
What was that?
I don't even know. And co-host Nexus. Alright, what?
What?
I threw you off so much. You shouted me out twice.
Okay, well, co-host NBT.
Nexus.
Damn it, Nexus!
oh well.
You didn't have to do it that time. Alright, well, we'll see you guys another time, and let us know about your power levels.
It's over 9,000.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?